G'day YouTube, my name's Lance and welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report. Bloody hell. The last Saturday, which, what would that have been? I can't tell you the date. Haven't even got a calendar in here. It was the coldest May day in Queensland, in our area, since 1940s or something like that. And it was bloody nipply, yeah. I was in here with my little heater going, trying to get a bit of work done. And yeah, the grandkids here and we were buggering about and yeah, trying to keep warm and have a nice fire and all that sort of thing. But it was a great bit of a time with the kids. We had them here for Friday night for a sleepover and we yeah, enjoyed ourselves. Had a play, but you don't get any work done when the little fellas are here. You get a lot of playing done and you do enjoy yourself, but yeah, you just don't get much that you planned on getting done anyway. So, and look, to tell you the truth, I've had a whole fortnight of not doing nothing that I planned. But anyway, look, that's okay. I'm a little bit croaky today. I've been out in the breeze and buggering around. At the moment, the temperature in Bundy, beautiful clear skies, and we're up to 20. The evening temperatures are, oh look, they're around 7 or 8, 9 at the moment, so they're sort of slowing up a little bit. And yeah, when you're up out of bed of a morning, it's nice to have the heater on just to warm you up a little bit. But you blokes down south, you'd be laughing at us fellas. But yeah, we seem to seem to be a bit soft when it comes to the cold. I didn't do a stew last week. We just had a lot of family stuff going. Those who watched the stew know my dad was crook and he wasn't travelling real well. Well, on the 15th he passed away, and since then we've had family up and we've been helping Mum organise things and all that sort of stuff. So no videos, nothing. I put one out last week that I already had up on the grey Fergie up the back that I already had up the spout. But yeah, the sister was allowed up with this COVID thing. We're a bit worried. Pardon me. We're a bit worried whether there's only me and my sister, and we're a bit worried that she might not be able to come up with for the funeral. So we had the funeral last Thursday, and she got up no worries at all. The medical department in New South Wales gave her an exemption, and her and her young fellow Lockie, brother-in-law, couldn't come up. He's got a dicky hip and that, and he's you know he got a sore tooth, and a bit of bacteria from the tooth got in his blood system and infected his hip. Good things, strange things happen. But anyway, so the sister, my sister and Lockie, the nephew, they were allowed into Queensland. So. And I said, oh, have you got any restrictions? You know, have you got to, just sit tight for 2 weeks or anything like that? And I said, nothing at all. They just come through the border. When they come through the border there, they said it was like a breathalyzer. you go through the, you all get put into one lane more or less. And that little sticker on their car. And they said, to their knowledge, no one even looked at the sticker. They didn't stop them. They didn't question what they were doing. They just didn't do anything, and through they came. So that was okay. Mum's going real well. My sister Leonie stayed with Mum, and the days coming up to when Dad passed away, Mum's got a good friend. Robin, and Robin stayed with Mum, and that was a good thing. Gave her company for a few days, and. But Mum reckons because Dad's been in care for a few months now, before he passed, that she was used to living on her own. So we were saying, oh yeah, how are you going to go with all this? And oh, she's alright, she's used to living on her own. So she's going really well. Yeah, taking it like a grain of salt. The old fellow would have been 84 last Saturday, so we didn't quite make it to 84. Mum's 84 tomorrow. So yeah, we're all... Me and the kids, we're all fronting around there, and we're pizza night. So we're going around to Mum's and save her cooking and all that. We're going to, there's myself and Jude and my young fella Tim and Ellie, his partner, Adele, my daughter, and we're all going round there to eat pizza with Nana. So we're sort of getting organised and go around there and see how she's going. Pardon me, got a bit of asthma going on again. And that just changes with the weather for some reason, and how I look after myself, which I often don't. But anyway, after Dad's passing at Riverlea, which is a Church of Christ retirement village, we had 48 hours to get all this shit out of there. So from when he passed on, they stopped charging Mum. It was $800 and something a week, $830 a week for his care, I think it was. The government helped out with some of that, but there was still a shortfall. And they'd overcharged Mum a couple $100 and she was poling. And I think that was giving her something to think about. But yeah, see, Mum organised all the funeral and all that. You couldn't help. She said, no, we're doing this and we're doing that and we're doing something else. And I think keeping busy got her through. This second week after it all, well, she'll probably have a bit of time on her own to reflect and all that. But where she is in Sugarland Gardens in the retirement village there, well, the old girls, they check on each other and you're there, Beryl, and they have a bit of a yarn and a yap and all that. We were allowed a maximum of 20 people at the old fella's funeral, and they would have liked more because they've been church people, and but they had their minister, but the 20 people, that was including the undertaker staff and then the minister and family and friends and all that sort of thing. So then Mum said, well, we might have a bit of a get together after the old boy's passing and just a bit of a wake sort of thing and a few sandwiches and just have a chat. Some people you don't see apart from weddings and funerals, and so we were going to have it here, but then my sister and Mum decided to have it at Mum's place in Sugarland Gardens, and they've got a back veranda, so we're allowed to come in the back veranda, but no one was allowed to go through Mum's house. They were allowed to go around the back, and it was all these little rules and regulations. Anyway, it's all done now. We're moving on. Mum's moving on, and pardon me, the old boy's got a shipping container up the back, and Mum gives me the keys for it, and I said, oh, what's this for, Mum? And she says, oh, that's for your father's shipping container, and he used to just put junk in there. And I said, oh, what do you want me to do with that? She says, oh, she see those keys? She says, your problem now. So, anything in the container was just junk, old shovels and pitchforks and things like that. And I said, well, what do you want, something in town there? No, she says, don't want to know about it, it's your problem. So, anyway, there's nothing exciting in there, that's for sure. The day we were sitting up with Dad, the day before he passed, we were sitting up there at the hospital with Mum, and I get this message from work, your new lathe's here. And I thought, what? And they sent me a message when I bought it. They said they were waiting for the new shipment of lathes to come in, and it'll be a few weeks away. And I thought, yeah, that's good, no worries. So right on that very bloody day, in comes my new lathe. So, not me, so my staff got it organised, but then we didn't have room in the shop, so I had to get over and get it in the ute and get it home here and muck ass around with it. But that was okay. The old fellow was sleeping, and he was peaceful anyway. So we come home and buggered around with that. Gave me something to think about, and I've got it set up over here now, and we'll go and have a little bit of a look at that, and in the stew here. And I've been spending a few bob. I'm just buggering around, just enjoying myself, and I haven't been able to get up and concentrate on the little TEA 20 videos. I've got to get the cam back in and that. And look, it's not a hard job, but with all the rest I've had to think about, I just can't get my mind around explaining it as I'm doing it at the moment. So, look, it'll happen fairly soon, but I just got to. There's a few different ways of putting those cams in, and you can put the cam in, and the front sprocket can go in one of 4 places. And I put a video out last week on copying the timing marks off the old sprocket, and look, that was good. I presume it's fine, but where you can turn the sprocket the new sprockets now don't have timing marks on them, and where you can turn that sprocket, you can gain a tooth or a quarter of a tooth or something like that in the timing. So you can put a cam follower in and a rod down there, and you can actually work out how close you are, which is a bit of a funny setup, but I'm going to actually try and run through that if I can. But at the moment, with everything else going on that had been going on, I buggered if I could concentrate on it and work out an easy way of doing it and showing it, and making any little tools I need to do it. So look, that'll come. It's just everything's just got to work through the system at the moment. Setting the lathe up, the new lathe, I assembled it outside, then I lifted the old one out and lifted the new one in, and on a shipping container, we're in a 20-foot shipping container here, my little machine shop. The container, the metal patterns under the floor that the pliers on are on a 10-inch grid, and of course you can run a forklift in and all that, and there's no problem. But my other lathe, I always felt I couldn't get it right true, so I made up some feet for this new one, and look, it sort of went okay. With the ply on the floor of the shipping container, you can actually, when you walk past, I bought a machinist level to do this, and the machinist level is accurate to 2/10,000ths of an inch over 10 inches, and you can set that up, get it all okay, and come back and think, God, that's out again, what's going on there? And what it was it depended where I stood. If I stood in the normal work position where I would be, I'd set it up for that, but I could walk up the other end and get it a bit different. So from under the tailstock, using 1, 2, 3 blocks, so from under the tailstock, under the chuck end, I was 2/10,000ths one way from level, and the other one I was 6/10,000ths, so I'm about a thou out, and I fiddled with those legs, and I fiddled and I could not get that out. So I've left it like that for the moment. It's turning beautifully. It's within 0.01 of a millimetre, which is half a thou over about 6-8 inches in there somewhere. I can't remember how long my test piece was. And so it's cutting accurately. It's going well. So we're just going to let it settle there, and then every month or so for the next 6 months I'll revisit it and see if I can adjust it. Now we'll have to have a little bit of a walk around, a bit of a show and tell. I also bought the there we go. I also bought the taper turning attachment for the lathe, and I'm yet to fit that, and I've never had a taper turning attachment before. I've never even used one, so they made one for this Taiwanese lathe, and I thought, well, I'll get it, just get everything with it, so I'll buy it all at the same time, and it's all the right era and all that sort of thing. So I have the full taper turning attachment there in a box, and there's little bits over here and a bit here, and it's bloody good stuff. And well, I will get that on and just give it a try one day. I don't know when that is. I've got my little microphone here, and I thought the battery was a bit flat, but I still got a nice little green, little blue dot there, so we're good. And I can't see the one on the other one, so I'm just finding with these tiny little microphones, like these little blokes, I'm just finding with those, I'm getting a far better sound quality, and with the boom and these fellas just going into the camera, even though they take the wind out of the system, they're very sensitive and they pick up all the ambient noise, where these little fellas, they're much more direct. I found with this, if I put it right up under my whiskers here, you can hear every breath I make. Yet if I put it down there, but you probably hear my guts rumbling. But anyway, not to worry. So in my little shop here, I've been doing a little bit of spending. We are still very busy at work. We've put the second person on now, so there's 6 of us selling parts. how that's all working out, we're yet to run figures and all that, but it's taken the load off a little bit, that's for sure. And it's certainly good when we had to be away from the business with Dad and all that, so it certainly helped for there. So I've got a rotary table for my mill, and a few weeks ago I had my mill apart, and I tightened up all the screws and set it all up, and look, it's really tight at the moment, and it's good. The little fella the other day, I had him up there helping. On eBay I found this little universal dividing head, and can you see that there? Yep, you can. And it's a BSO semi-universal dividing head, and I was just poking around through eBay having a look for tools and things and just seeing if anything caught my fancy. And I have a rotary table, a 6-inch rotary table, and that I've cut a few little gears on over the past, but this little fella here, I saw it and I thought, well, it was $361.94 or something like that. And of course it's made in China. And I've been anti-China at the moment, but I bought it off an Aussie company, but off an Aussie bloke, but yeah, I'm bloody sure it's Chinese. Well, I'm sure the company's Chinese with an Aussie name and an Aussie bloke. Yeah. So it's a 40-to-1 universal dividing head that we can tip up and down, and a few things like that. When we lock the main spindle here, there's a little bit of backlash there, and on some indexing plates that'd be a hole, a complete hole. So you have to make sure you're turning the right direction, and if you go too far, turn it back and bring it in. So my friend Bruce, everyone knows Brucey's with them from over Perth. He put a few videos out a while ago now on his universal heads. His aren't cheap Chinese shit like this, but he said best thing to do, just pull it apart, clean it all out, and just modify what you need to modify, and clean it out. And he's saying put no grease in, and these little clamps here, and I'm actually going to do a video series just on this thing. It'll be 1 or 2 videos or something on this thing, and we're going to bring it all up to speed. And it doesn't need a lot, but it comes with all the tail stock. It comes with a 5-inch 3-jaw self-centering chuck with your inner and outer jaws, and the spindle here is 1.5 inches by 8 threads per inch, and it just screws on. And I thought, oh, that's okay. And you know how you got a new toy and you're sitting fiddling and you can't help yourself? No, I don't either. No. So what I've had tucked away, and these are for holding in the chuck if I ever wanted to put an ER40 collet or an ER32 collet in the lathe. I've had these here, and I just dial them into 4-jaw and away we go. But bugger me dead if both of those don't just sit perfectly on that front plate. So that just gives you a lot of tool holding options. It's a number 2 Morse taper, and you get a spindle, a thread protector for it. So if you're not using the or if you're just using centres, well, it protects the thread, and you get a heap of dividing plates and all that. And like for $360, you couldn't go wrong. And I thought, even if it's bloody plasticine, we'd make something out of it. So the little drive dog for indexing between centres. Look how long those bolts are. So I've got a couple of little Allen head grub screws here, and we can put them in, and we can actually get rid of the bulk of this. And I do have a couple of little gears coming up on a project to do, but I think first up we'll just strip this down. We'll see what we've got for our $360. These little brass bits here where they lock into the dovetail here, Looks like the dog chewed them off. So we'll just tidy that up. The thread sticks out past them, and in machining and that, you don't want threads sticking out past something. You want it flush or even. And so we're going on the washers on the side of the indexing head here, and in the tailstock. They're just cheap shit washers. You know, you nip them up and you can see them move. So we'll probably make ourselves a couple of little washers that are, you know, 2mm thick or something like that, and that'll pull the threads back even and things like that. So that's what we're doing at the moment. To undo the bolt at the end here, but I didn't have a pin spanner the right size. Well, so I thought, but then my Makita spanner. I bought a couple of cheap Makita angle grinders a little while ago. So they fit that nicely now. I had to radius the edge and things like that. So, but not to worry. I bought a vise for my new drill press, and my bloody microphone. And look, I looked at buying a Dawn, an Australian-made Dawn one, and my Taiwanese made drill press here was $689 from Trade Tools. It seems to go alright. To buy I can't remember, it was 5 or 6 inch drill vise for that, it was like $530, and I had a look at the cheap Chinese ones and they were like $70, and I thought, So anyway, I went to Hare and Forbes and I bought a Taiwanese drill press vise, and it's the same as one I had years ago that I sold with the business, and it was $130 or something like that. So and look, my last one was good, so I hope this one was good, but I know we should buy Aussie, but I just couldn't chew through $430 to put on the stand of a $600 drill press. So anyway, that's the way I went with it. With the setting up of the lathe, going back to that, the ply in the shipping container here, I was worried about it moving and settling and all that too much. So, and my old lathe was a little bit low. If I sat there on a stool, it always hit me in the knees. And so I went to Taylor's Hardware in town here and had a yarn to them, and they had some 1-inch industrial ply. Now it's structural ply. It's not marine. It's structural, but it can take a bit of weather and all that. And it's not the form ply, with the brown outer. It's just a plain ply, 1-inch thick. And so what I've done, I've doubled that up. So I've got 2 inches of ply, and I screwed it all together with countersunk Allen head screws, and we've pulled it in real tight, let it sit and nipped it up again. And then where the lathe sits, I've actually got, where the feet sit into that, I was worried about the steel feet sitting into the ply, with a small surface area. So on top of the ply we have a bit of 1/2 inch steel, 4 inches wide, and that goes that looks after the front and the back foot at each end of the lathe. So we're trying to spread the load. When I walk up there now and I've got the level on it, you can still just see a little bit of movement, couple of tenths, and but look, all in all, I'm happy with it. The machinery's handbook here fell over. I've been reading that, trying to become clever. Hey, bloody long way to go. So look, we'll go handheld, and I'll take you up the other end. I'll just show you what we've done under there, and we'll have a talk about how we've done it. I was going to film all that and that, but with the old fella, I just couldn't get into it, and so I just thought, fuck it, I thought blow it. I thought I'll just set it up and get it working and just get it going. So anyway, we'll go handheld and we'll go for a bit of a walk, eh? Okay, that's just over on my messy bench, and that's just where I'm fiddling with this little rotary, or little universal dividing head. Just having a bit of a play. Now the screws, they supply keys for the bottom end here, so and they supply keys so you can actually just drop it drop it onto your mill bed and it'll be all lined up, but they were too fat. So they were 16 mil and I needed 13.8, so I've dropped them in the mill. This is what a little young grandson was helping me with the other day. We dropped them in the mill and we've got them nice and tight now. They're a good fit in there. Nice fit in there, and you put it on the mill and it sits in tight. So that's a good thing. So all this here, that's where I've got my stereo and my bookshelf and my little sound jigger and all this. I just seem to put junk there. So I'm thinking we're going to put the bookshelf up on the wall up here next to the aircon. There's enough room up in there near the TV, and we're thinking of running more of these toolboxes I have here. We're thinking of running more of them out through there. So, and like make a proper workstation instead of a junk area, then a workbench. So we'll see how that goes. I've sent out a couple of messages to people about stickers. We're doing a sticker swap with Maddie's workshop and Craig's workshop and things like that. So yeah, hopefully we can do a few sticker swaps. If you've got a YouTube channel and you want to get into that, give us a yell, and yeah, we'll do that for sure. But yeah, I've sort of been tidying up a little bit, and that's the mill, or sorry, the drill vise. I've been mucking around on the YouTube machinist site. There's a bit of talk about, you know, spotting drills and all that, so I've mucked around a little bit, and I don't know what angle that is. It's about 120, something like that. It's flatter than 118. I thought, oh, I just had an old drill, I'd chop it down and give it a go. And I know it's only supposed to be a spotting drill, but anyway, she went right through. No worries at all. So a bit of relief there, and yeah, look, it's okay. That works. So that's a good thing. Now, these feet up here, so these are the feet that I made for under the lathe down here. Now, when we go down here and have a look, you can, if I can get this airline out of the way, you can see I've got 2 inches of ply on top of the shipping container floor. Then we've got the steel that goes all the way, and those feet that I made up, with the lathe they actually supply a couple little bolts to go in here to level it, but there was a lot bigger holes there, so we've gone to 16 mil. Now, one thing, if I did this again, the threads here are 16 by 2 mil pitch. It's too coarse. I should have went to a finer pitch. As we're trying to adjust things up and down, oh boy, you just move it half a fly shit and she was all over. Yeah, you were one way or another. So I should have, with that, I should have actually made them out of finer thread. So we'll do that next time. I don't know when that'll ever be, but anyway. Now, on my lathe here, up this end, I've always had a piece of angle iron on my old lathe, and that's just a big hunk of angle iron. I've got big holes at the back, small holes at the back and big holes at the front, and that's where I keep drill chucks and pipe centres and things like that. And because of the width of here, it's far wider than my old lathe, so I couldn't use my old one, which I thought I would, and I've had to make a new one of those up, so that's alright. Malteser, my friend Malteser, I did the Chamberlain gearbox on. He came yesterday and bought my old lathe. He wanted it for a while, and then he ended up ringing yesterday and saying, you know, when's that for sale? And I said, bloody now, come and get it. So so we did that. The controls and all are pretty well okay. I had to tag it, put the Bundy Bear shed on, and then for when I'm filming down the spout, I've got a bloody sneaky ad in there, and I've got my favourite Sanu 6-jaw there. God, that's a great chuck. I'm really pleased with it. And all these controls you'll all know and understand. It's got the digital readout on it. The bolts here, that's where your taper attachment goes. I might have to move this if I'm playing with that too much, we'll see. The other day I was looking at oil cans, and where are we? I jumped on Amazon for a look and goldenrod oil can made in Hastings, Nebraska, and it's got a nice fat bottom on it, and I thought, right, I'll get a dedicated oil can. I have had this little plastic shit thing, this little one that, well, I don't even know where I got it, but it leaks like buggery, so it's gone, and I've got this one here. Now it's got a, I'm going to probably buy another one of these. The end there I thought it'd go good on the balls. Where are we? Whoop. On the balls for you know, lubing the ways, but because of the shape of it in the end there, it actually, the balls seal off on it. But anyway, that's okay. That can sit up there. So that stays. But yeah, look, all in all, pretty happy with it. I haven't done much turning. The first job was for a neighbour. So that's alright. Then I've had this old oil can here. We're still set up from the other day for, you know, doing the T-slots and all that sort of thing. But I've had this oil can for quite a while. Now that's an old Aussie Riga, and it was a bugger of a thing for leaking, and didn't matter what I did with it, I'd sit it somewhere and it'd leak. And so I thought, oh, I don't know which way to go with it. But anyway, the other day I thought, oh well, I felt like having a fiddle in here, and I stripped everything completely, and where it had gaskets there, it was leaking because the gaskets had gone thin, and this inside here, it didn't have anything there. You know, it had worn away, so there's an O-ring in under there now, and whoop, and another gasket in under the cap here. So that's been sitting there for a couple of days now, not leaking at all. So it looks like we've got a fix on that. That seems to be okay. Then I have another Riga oil can up here, the old Aussie Riga, and it leaks like buggery all the time too. Now I'm going to do the same fix on the plunger here as I did on this one, but I've got a suspicion it's leaking. You see it sort of dry up there, but it's wet there. I reckon it's got a leak in the solder there, which I don't know if I'm going to fix or not. We'll see what happens. But this little fella here, this little plastic shitbox thing, it was really good for lubing the lathe. That little tip, that little pointy tip there, that was good for that. So I'll probably look for another one with a flexible spout that I can put in the ways and on the new lathe and work with that. So, but anyway, look, that's it. That's a bit of a scout around for what we're doing at the moment. Yeah, not a lot to show you. I've been down the dam trying to fix pumps all day. So 6 o'clock this morning I thought I'd come out the shed here, come out in my little play area and have a play, but then the pump shit itself, so I had to fix that. Then had to run over to the daughter's and do a light bulb in her unit and all that. So here it is, nearly 12 o'clock Monday morning, and I'm just getting back in here. So anyway, that's how it goes, isn't it? So there you go, that's what's been happening in my life for a week, for a fortnight. Buggering around in the shed here and just doing little jobs, keeping busy. Hopefully there's a little bit more tractor work coming soon. Like I say, I'm just trying to work through that, get that in my head and get a clear focus on that before we hit it. Try and give you good information, not rubbish. And I'll probably through the week I've got to muck around here. Trade Tools Bundy Bear have a glass bead, and I've been buying the Heron Forbes glass bead, the fine one, like minus 60 to, I can't remember the figures, but the fine glass Inda bead. and Trade Tools had some, so I thought, oh well, it's half the price, plastic bucket full, so they got me up some, and I put it in my little blast cabinet that I do the carburettors in, and it's just too coarse, it doesn't flow properly, so I've had to order a couple of bags from Hare and Forbes anyway, so I have a couple of carbies I have to do up this week and get that done, but yeah, I just thought I'd have a go and try something different and get a cheaper supply, but it turns out, yep, no, it's not going to work. The blast cabinet's got a few leaks around the edges and things like that, so a bit of it ends up on the floor, and yeah, you're blowing it off and things like that. So so I do have to go up and service the glass bead blaster. I've got the big blast cabinet from Hare and Forbes, but it's going good, no problems there. But yeah, I thought I'd get away with mucking around with the glass bead, and it just didn't quite work. So that's how it goes. So anyway, look, thanks for dropping by. Sorry I didn't get anything out last week. It's just I had to be in the right frame of mind, and there's so much shit going on. I just thought, bugger, I'll do something else. And but yeah, look, that's it for this week. I'll try and get a bit of this done this week. I'm a bit keen to do this. Have a look at this indexing head and pull that apart just for a look, if nothing else. And so hopefully, well, you may see videos coming out this week, depends on what time I have on that. So have a good week, everyone. Thanks again for dropping by, and yeah, hopefully we'll catch you next week.